So Throne and Liberty just got some pretty impactful game changes here on the Korean server, which we'll be getting undoubtedly pretty soon. Potentially earlier, but unlikely any later than the Toland update March the 6th. This comes with a bunch of additional weapon updates, particularly to reduce the survivability of longsword and the wand combination. We have seen a few of them that were announced last week, but this also includes a really massive nerf to the crossbow and sword combination. You may have seen clips of this being absolutely nuts, slaughtering people here in Korea, and that's as a result of the new mastery system, particularly Wave of Annihilation and the passive Spectrum of Agony that you can then combine with a crossbow with a massive amount of hit rate per second with an Annihilation barrage shot. So you were getting these super tanky spinners jumping into groups and just annihilating them. Of course, helped a lot by the giant Cordy crossbow too. But as far as I can see, this change is going to bring an end to that. Meaning, if you were looking forward to potentially having a bit of fun with this combo, as I was, you will unfortunately be left disappointed. Basically, what they've gone and done is they've made it only apply 3 times per second. This is for the passive. Excuse the translation, but yeah, that's this one here named Spectrum of Agony, allowing you to deal a ton of extra damage when you have Provoking Roar on your target, all within a 3-meter radius for every single hit that you would deal. So you're having your Annihilation Barrage shot, which is going to hit for like at least 24 times, trigger this that many times, and then you would even throw on top of that Wave of Annihilation to get even more damage. Frankly, it got quite ridiculous, but could have been a lot of fun to mess around with. Maybe not on the receiving end though, but you can see Wave of Annihilation also getting that nerf, can only be applied 3 times per second. So yeah, now instead of it triggering on every single hit, it's only going to be like 3 per second, which is like then nothing when you consider your spin. Now, some of you pro players may still be able to make it work, but it's not nearly going to be as effective. We can also see what looks like a bit of a buff though. Longsword can now knock enemies out of camouflage. This will help a lot versus those people who can easily get away with, say, Camouflage Cloak. However, just be aware, you can still get the specialization on Camouflage Cloak to basically become CC immune for the first 3 seconds, but after that, you will be getting knocked out of that. A lot of other abilities have this too, like I was doing it with Tempest Strike, so I guess it will help their effectiveness in that regard a bit. But just be aware of that, especially if you're crutching your Tevent daggers to go in and out of stealth so much. There was some balance adjustments here as well, reducing the amount of defense you can gain, and also with the mastery, reducing the amount of recovery received. To needing 40 wisdom or higher to now you actually need 60 wisdom or higher. And another change where if your wisdom's below 40, you gain that recovery effect, and if you're less than 60, you gain a bunch of extra mana. But then we can see, yes, those are weapon adjustments here for dagger, staff, longbow, the wand, all getting those buffs to now be able to ignore the block chance of those sword and shield users. That will definitely make them a lot more squishy, and in tier 2 you get an insane amount of block chance if you stack everything up, so the balance is primarily for that. The next adjustment here says it's to some Toland Archboss weapons scheduled to be released on regular maintenance of the 19th. I'm not sure what's up with that. Are they getting new Archboss weapons? But this Birken's Iron demonstration with this cooldown reduction effect, as far as I can tell, is the longbow, the Birken's Iron String bow, with that cooldown reduction on, say, decisive bombardment, with that critical effect, giving it a cap of at most 3 times. But then Korea will already be getting Season 3 of the Dimensional Trials, this starting on March the 26th. They currently have Season 2 with all those purple runes. We're currently ending Season 1 right now, and maybe the next season will bring purple runes for us. We don't know yet. It could well just be another season of blue runes. But then they added some new systems, particularly certificate system for dynamic events. Basically, you will be able to triple your total rewards from a dynamic event. So you're going to go and, for example, get your basic rewards for beating this thing. You can see if we got like tier 1, we get 22 crystals. But now with the certificates, you're going to get like 30 purple crystals. This is also shown here. And you're going to be able to collect these certificates and choose to use them and apply them to these events. So the incentive is to basically try hard an event and you'll get triple the amount of rewards. Not bad, honestly. Especially if you're getting like purple ores and purple crystals, because you need an absolute ton of these crystals and ores for these growthstones. Weapons need rubrics, armor Stalon, and accessories Emaret. Leveling up this gear to level 12, which will be the new maximum, will be insanely expensive. So this will definitely be a very good incentive for people to actually go out and do dynamic events. At least if you have those certificates, they're going to be displayed up here in your currency section, but just be aware this will not affect activity points. It will not affect the guild experience points. It is simply for tripling the reward items, like going from your blue crystals to purple crystals, blue ores to purple ores, and even Solent gets tripled too. So yeah, very good incentive there. Other than that, a bit of a change, a quality of life improvement to the cooperative dungeon Torture Chamber of Screams. They will be removing the part where you need to turn into a warden to unlock the doors. Now everybody will have that visible and you'll be able to unlock the doors much easier. And then with the Scream collecting devices, basically you just need to prevent them from getting destroyed, and that's it. There was a change to Siege. When you get the Usurper buff, when you're trying to capture the throne, you'll no longer get, say, damage reduction. You're just going to get maximum health, up to 40,000 rather than 80% damage reduction. And then Nebula Island. There was a bunch of significant changes here with, say, respawn timers, elite monsters getting revamped, making them appear randomly one at a time every 6 hours, portal events randomly appearing every 12 hours, and ultimately we're going to have to learn this whole system. They also adjusted the playable time a bit, so you can have your charge time and base time separate. Ultimately it's a PvP lawless zone and you want to farm mobs to get rewards, and you have a limited amount of time you can be there, so you can't just camp it the whole time. Per week, I believe you get like 7 hours, but that's still open to change, and we shall see what happens with global. But it's very likely it will mirror these changes. At least they're testing them out already. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Korean update here. Again, we can expect pretty much everything to come to global in the near future. We're getting Toland again in less than 3 weeks. It's nearly only 2 weeks now, and it will put us nearly on par with everything that Korea has, excluding most likely trait resonance and purple runes. But again, this comes with a massive nerf to how the sword and shield plus crossbow could work. It was pretty broken since they came out with the new masteries. If you're actually looking forward to playing that, like, yeah, me, you'll be disappointed now. You'll only be able to trigger this 3 times the passive, and same with the mastery, meaning kind of pointless to run it with crossbow. You're just going to be better off going back to dagger crossbow and making the most of all the dagger passives that give you like crit, invisibility, full evasion with smoke screen, and ultimately just output more damage than what sword and shield can with that annihilation barrage shot combo. Kind of unfortunate we never got to have fun with it, but alas, it probably needed to happen. But that's it for now. Thanks all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.